Recording started. So for today, I guess for those who don't know me, since this is a public class, Exchange Trades. So today's just going to be a market overview, and what worked out, and talk it pretty, sorry, basically talk about what worked out well and why we had this bias, in shorts for the day. Um, okay. I'll get to questions later on, save them for the end while I just go over the market overview initially, so everyone can kind of understand what we were watching. So off rip, this was, I believe, the morning Gex. This is at, 10 minutes into the open. So we have two defined levels, right? Very obvious right here and right here. This is 5,300 and this is 5,325. Once again, we always talk about how there is no pickup above, then the odds that we push up above are slim to none. So the defined range was 5,325, right? And then we can always go to the timeline, and that's exactly what we talked about. So there were certain things that we had been watching, or I'd been watching in the morning. Um, See, off rip, 730, defined range is 5,325, 5,300, right? We talked about it already, and it maintained that same exact range throughout the day, right? So data never really changed. The only difference that I see here is, let's put these side by side, right? Um, you can obviously tell the data changed ever so slightly, right? Based upon the two images, 5,300 picked up on ABS-D Gex, right? And once again, there was nothing above it, right? We always talk about finding interest above it. If there's no interest above it, then the odds that you push higher are slim to none, right? So this is very key in determining the defined range for the day. It's very, very simple. Look for the two biggest bars, and if there's no pickup above the one on the one that's higher than spot price, then the odds that you go up, slim to none, right? So once again, keeping it very, very simple so everyone can understand it and utilize it, right? On top of that, going into the day, we had we've been testing our vol reversion levels that Geo created, right? Um, so with that being said, we had one of them line up practically near perfectly with 5325 ABS-D Gex wall, right? So as you can tell, vol reversion. So the signs were all there. This is a very high probability short level. On top of that, if you look at the Twitter timeline, we had also posted, there's lots of positive delta buildup, right? And this was at 805, right? This is before the push up. And then the one thing I noticed, next thing you know, at 837, that was the first candle on the footprint chart to build up a negative delta, right? What does negative delta entail for those who don't really know what it means? It just means that although there's a green candle, there were actually more sellers than buyers. So buyers got absorbed, and there were actually, once again, more sellers on that candle specifically in comparison to buyers, right? So that is what delta is tracking. And for those who are asking, why is there no delta on the green can, or there's only delta on some candles? It shows the divergence, right? It shows on our setup, or on our footprint chart, what we have set up is it shows negative delta on green candles so that you can see the divergence. And it shows positive delta on red candles to show the divergence, right? So once again, if you go back, this is the first one. And I talked about how there were positive delta candles on every single red candle, and we got our move up, right, slightly. Then this popped up, and that was the sign to be like, okay, they might bring this right down. And on top of that, that was the 830 candle. So perfectly in line, right? And that was before it had turned red. So it all added up to start looking for shorts around this area, right? So that's three things off the rip. You have ABS-D Gex wall. You have our second vol reversion resistance level. Next thing I want to bring up is this, right? This is SMT. It also pointed out, right? NQ made a new all-time high and swept the previous day's high, or whichever day this is. I think this, yeah, Thursday. While ES did not, right? And that's one of the few things that we always use within just a charting pattern or charting price signature, right? So when that happened, at damn near the top, it just made perfect sense. And on top of that, if you wanted to get even more in depth with a lower time frame, it happened as well, at a higher, pretty much at the highs, right? So let's see. Where is it? It's this high right here, right? Yeah, so as you can tell right here, draw a line across, and then draw the line across. All right, ES didn't sweep the same high. Sorry, it's right here. It's this candle down here. So ES didn't sweep it, NQ swept it by a fucking large amount. So just paying attention to those are always important in finding potential tops for the day. And it just so happened, once again, to line up with the 3 levels. So there were 4 things today that signified a potential reversal, right? ABS DGEX wall, vol reversion level, SMT, negative delta buildup on the chart, right? And that was pretty much a picture perfect play. And as soon as we broke through the other vol reversion resistance that was acting like support initially, we just flushed, right? So that is as simple as it can, like breaking down, multiple different tools that we have on the dashboard and overall price action. Questions now. Hit me with them. Where do you get the vol reversion from in footprint only for SPY? Vol reversion is from our own. It's something we've been beta testing for what? How many weeks now, Gio? Like 3 weeks?
Like 2 months.
2 months? So
Tested on 3 years of data.
yeah, and it was back tested upon 3 years of data. I sold my puts on Friday and today for. Yeah, and okay. So let's break that down. I sold my puts on Friday and today for a loss because it took so long and I got scared, right? Number one, you're probably scared because you sized a little too much, more than what you're comfortable with losing, right? So that's one issue already. Second thing is, what contracts did you have? Did you have something that was out the money, right? If you know that, or if you have the expectation that you're gonna, yeah, exactly, out the money. My contracts, I held minus 40% and they went over 45% today by the close and never reached max pain. I sent one image basically talking about why I've been buying in the money and how it helps basically hold the position for yourself, right? Number one, it's easily calculable in the sense of what percentage. And I had this up, right? So let's take a look at this image. This is my break even on SPY, 530.3, right? This is before we dump down and everything, minus 10%, minus 20%, minus 30%, minus 40%, minus 50% was the max I was willing to lose. And max pain is if the SPY contract went out the money, right? I had the 533 puts at 2.7. And with that being said, it's strictly pretty much based upon the delta because these contracts have intrinsic value, right? So you can already tell, and I wrote a whole thread about this if anyone wants to take a look at that. It just makes, like, taking these in the money contracts will help you hold to your thesis a lot better. Let's see. Where is it? Right here. Okay. This thread will help you in terms of like visualizing the contracts and what it looks like, right? I think right here. Where is it? Okay. You see, this is the same. Obviously, SPY moves the same, right? The contracts are what's going to be different. So let's take this image, copy image, paste it on here. Let's take this in. Where is it? This image, copy and paste it. Copy image, paste it. All right. Let's get rid of that. Let's enlarge these two. And you can already tell the premium difference of buying in the money versus out the money. Right? Can I bring these all forward? Let's drag these up here so there's no candles in the way. Right? Here you go. This is the difference in premium, right? Let's say you bought at the exact same time, what, 2 candles into the open right here. So 2 candles in the open right here. So let's say you got an average of 0.6. These contracts, no matter what, we're still dumping, right? Look at my contracts. They held a flat floor. Why? Because it's a calculated risk in the sense of intrinsic value, right? Very easy to determine in that sense, right? If you had bought at the same exact time, this is the difference. Number one, I'm green on this play versus if you had taken the out the money 528s versus in the money 532s, that is the biggest difference. Does that kind of help you visualize SS? in terms of like why I'm taking in the money versus out the money. On top of that, you make a good amount anyway, right? It's based upon delta. You're kind of playing the delta of the contracts, and they're like 80 pretty much, 80 to 100. So for every dollar that SPY goes down, you make $80 per contract. Yeah, it's a huge difference. You can already tell, right? On certain drops, this is 12, and then this is 12. These contracts held my entry price. This contract never held your entry price of 0.6. So it's a huge difference in terms of never having to battle theta. It's pretty trading in the money contracts is almost as if you're trading futures. I took that put, but got stopped out at minus 20%. Which one? The 532? When you say negative gamma can act like an accelerant, what does that mean? Okay, negative gamma can act like an accelerant. So let's talk about that. One from this morning. Okay. Yeah, I think those got stopped out. I don't think I put a stop on them. No, I didn't. I just kind of looked away. But let's talk about negative gamma, right? So let's use a potential visualization here. Let's say this is a neg gamma wall, right? What does it mean to act like an accelerant? So let's say we're under the negative gamma wall, right? Path. This is usually what it would lead to, right? You can kind of accelerate back and forth through the level versus a positive wall will treat it sort of like support and resistance, right? Versus negative gamma can just go through those levels. So it's not as, you don't really treat it as a support and resistance, right? And then if you're below spot, or if it's below spot price, then it can just accelerate through, right? Yeah, NQ was a lot stronger today, and that's because of NVIDIA. If you look at NVIDIA, did it get rid of my lines? I guess it did. Okay, whatever. If you look at NVIDIA today, this is what was holding it up, and you compare it with NQ, right? So let's make sure we're on the same time frame. This is why when it came down, it's a good sign to trim. If you look at ES versus NQ and NVIDIA in comparison, ES swept the low, right? Down here. NQ didn't even get near that same low. Why? Because NVIDIA is holding it up. The moment NVIDIA popped, look what happened. You see the crosshair on the left, the vertical line. The moment NVIDIA started popping up, look what happened. NQ rallied up with it. Right? Versus you take a look at ES, look at that. ES didn't rally up and sweep the same high. So it just didn't make sense for it didn't make sense to fully get a yank down pretty much. So if we're at a big negative gamma level and moving fast, would a short scalp be a good idea? It's all dependent on the kind of risk and type of trader you are, right? I never like taking breaks of certain supports and resistances. Why? Because you're not getting the best entry or value for that position, right? So let's go back and visualize this. So you know exactly what I mean. I consider myself a reversal trader. Gio considers himself a reversal trader. That's why we're never trading momentum, right? So let's say this is a negative wall, right? Negative X wall, right? And we're chopping around here, right? We push right through it. We're chopping around here versus, and then we get a move down, right? And then we go right through it. I'm not taking it. I'm almost never, actually pretty much never taking it on this break. Why? Because you're not getting very good risk to reward. When it comes to negative gamma walls and negative GEX environments in general, you're prone to V-shaped recoveries. Why? Because you can just go right through that level again. So it's terrible R to R in my opinion, taking it at this break, right? I rather just miss the trade personally, versus this is where I'm hoping to take the trade or somewhere on this break up here, right? I rather take it and risk this much space going up versus take it here and risk this much space going up. You see the difference? Right? I'm never taking it on the break of an actual support or resistance line. I think breakout trading is way riskier than reversal trading because the R to R is just not there. It's almost never there. So for me, it's just it will never make sense to take it on a break of a support. Like let's say tomorrow we have 5,300 as a wall, which I can almost guarantee you it's going to be the exact same thing. You're going to have 5,300 and 5,325 or some shit, right? I'm not going to take it on the break below. Why? Once again, R to R does not make any sense. I'm not taking a trade here, right? Even if the target is down here, I'm still not taking the trade here. Why? Why? Because you're risking this many points. Exactly. It's not that it'll give a perfect continuation. It almost never does in negative Gex walls because you're prone to just dealers trading with the price action and it'll just go through it in both directions. And you can go back to one of the classes. I talk exactly about actually we'll be doing that later this week on Thursday and talking about negative environments just because you're very, very prone to seeing huge V-shaped recoveries. Why? Because negative environments entail higher volatility, lower liquidity. So think about it, right? If you take a short at the break of 5,300, number one, it would have never came, right? Versus 5,325 or versus a tap of 5,325. You would have gotten in, and this is the defined range for the day, right? That was defined right at the open, 10 minutes into the open, right? It just doesn't make sense to take shorts at the relative low of day. I always talk about it. Never ever take a short position at the relative low of day. Why? Because you risk going back straight to the top of the range. We haven't had any big negative. Yeah. We haven't had any negative days as of recently because we've been fucking 13-day rally or what, 11-day rally, some shit like that. Why risk the short here and risk going back to the top of the range? Most people will take it on a break of 5,300 instead of taking it up here. Why? I will never understand. I rather just sit and miss the trade. Like even if this is your target, right? Let's just pull up the fucking risk to reward calculator. And if you're sized for 0, sure, maybe. But once again, right, if you're targeting the low and your risk is the freaking top of the range, you're clapped. This is a 0.6 risk to reward. You're giga clapped. It doesn't make any sense to ever take a short at a break of a support, in my opinion, or a long at the break of resistance. Like coin today, right? I wanted to get in coin at here. And I was like, oh, we're about to break this level, right? But I didn't take it right here. Why? Because I missed my entry somewhere along the lines of here. Why not just wait for a sweep of some of these supports, right? This would have been the most ideal trade. Or even on a pullback here, right? Even if you miss that one, is this one? Yeah. Could have taken it at the fib long, right? There were two entries there that are way better R to R than taking it up here, right? Especially if you don't have a target in mind. Right, up here. And let's just say you were targeting 215. And your stop loss is what? A low versus taking it on one of these levels, right? Look at the main difference. Right, we're all using the same low. And it just makes the most sense to take them at take it at the reversal. Right, look at the R to R difference. So why would you ever take a trade on breakout? Personally, I think breakout trades are just not it. And that comes with like experience too and like comfortability of going against the trend, right? Keep in mind, you need reason to go against the trend. You can't just fucking, oh, I think it's going to bounce here because we've been going down. No, you need some sort of empirical fucking evidence that we may go higher, right? And today was obvious for SPX, right? We had the ABS-D GEX, we had the vol reversion level, we had the negative delta buildup on that first candle. And what else was there? And we had the SMT. So 4 things. You had 4 reasons to go short there. So it just worked out. Will it work out every time? Obviously not. or else everyone would be stupid rich. But once again, you're playing probability. Does that make sense, guys? Any more questions? I highly suggest if you're constantly playing breakout, if you're a breakout trader or a trigger trader, like you wait for triggers to hit before taking a long. I noticed trigger traders are pretty much the same as breakout traders. Like their triggers are fucking above hive day, like some shit like this, or there's something like this, right? And yeah, you may have saved yourself from not taking a trade here, but also you missed a lot of opportunity. It's different risk, right? Let's say your trigger was like right here, I don't know, fucking below this low, and then some shit like above this previous resistance, right? Yeah, you would have captured some points here. But once again, your target technically wouldn't have been hit, right? If you have targets, if you use like previous highs as targets, um, and whatnot, it just what do potential reversals look like on the platform? That was the image right here. So this is what we watched out for, right? This is what we've been working on. These are based upon the vol reversion levels. Basically, the darker the red, the higher probability to short, and whatnot. So then escape, and that's based upon these levels, right? Or these zones. These zones were created based upon that level. So we talked about, where is it? 53.25, right? I don't know if you were here in the beginning, but yeah. So 53.25, once again, this is pretty much your defined range for the day. You have 5,300 and this 53.25. Is that, yes, this is available for users. And we post as of lately the vol version levels for people since it's in beta and whatnot. We post it manually. But yeah, these levels, the thing that, okay, obviously there's a lot of newer people here. I'll start posting it because Gio's not awake in the morning, so I'll post it for people. Um, but with that being said, the platform, okay, a lot of people always ask like, oh, how can I use this data? You can implement it right away. It's as easy as looking at the gamma chart and then having that defined range for the day, right? It's very, very simple. You have your defined range. You don't need any other, you don't need a pre-market chart. You don't need an overnight chart. You have your levels. You know where the dealers are positioned for the entirety of the day. So why do you need to spend all the extra time? You wake up in the morning, you look at the data, wait 10 to 15 minutes, let all the dust settle, and then chart out the levels, right? So if we were to go into that in the beginning of the day, we take this data from today and then just chart it out, right? This was posted at 7:39 or 7:29, sorry. So you have your levels, right? You easily just go in. This is not the right tool. This one. Nope, this one. So 53.25, that's your top range. 5,300 is your lower range. Right? And look exactly at where we were today. Do you enter puts this morning based on the red zone? I entered initially off of the first vol reversion level, and then I added on the second one. So I could have, if I wanted the most ideal entry, I would have waited for 53.25 to tap. But at a certain point, plus minus 5 points is always a good entry. That's usually what I do. Plus minus 5 points ish for an entry. I didn't post them today, but I will start posting it in the main channel. Gio's gonna help me work on creating a bot so that whatever I post gets pushed out to everyone as well. So that will be hopefully figured out by end of this week or end of next week. Sorry, do the Gex bars also give you an opening range, or are you just getting them from that chart? I'm just getting it strictly from the data, right? It looks something like this. Right, this is what the dashboard looks like, obviously customizable to however you like. This is just how I have it set up. But it gives you like the big X bars basically means the heavier the position, the more interest that dealers have in taking the market in that direction. Does green equal more interest? No, green is essentially call side and or negative or positive gamma and negative gamma. So the one that we use the most, and we'll touch more into what like gamma is tomorrow, and that one will be recorded and posted. But if you want to get a head start or a jump start on that, you can just go to our YouTube and then watch the previous class. Dive deeper. This one. I'll post that for you. My suggestion, watch it on 2x speed. I watch everything on 2x speed, so I don't have to spend an obnoxious amount of time looking at it. That's just me and my ADHD and my attention span. But I would look into once again, right? Take the time. It's 20 minutes in 2x speed to get a jump start on what we're gonna go over again tomorrow. Right. And that's for everyone that's new and that really actually wants to learn this because it's game changing. You can ask pretty much any one of our subscribers as of right now. They can't trade without the data. And there's many people that will say that. I can guarantee you that. There's tons of people that will say they can't trade without it anymore. And I'm one of those people too. Without the data, I won't even bother taking a trade for the day. Yeah, it's like being blind. Exactly. Exactly. Smitty knows. Smitty's been a long time OG. Once you look into this shit, you can't like you really just can't trade the market without it at a certain point. But for those who are new and where to get footprint's just here. We have it once you edit your dashboard, you can see the footprint chart. Right. For those who don't know how to edit the dashboard, it's locked standard, and then you unlock it with the top right corner. You click the settings gear icon, and then you can add pretty much whatever you want. For those who are new and they haven't signed up, here's 30% off your first month if you want to just give it a shot. That's the code. Oh, hold on. That should work. Hold on. Let me test it out because I don't want to. Hold on. I'm testing it on the side so my information doesn't pop up. Have a coupon 30 off. Yep, that code works. Do you still try to utilize Charm post OPEX week? Or no, just I pretty much the week after OPEX is my favorite week. Why? Because it is the cleanest PA when it comes to just utilizing Gamma. It is the absolutely cleanest PA. In conjunction, obviously, with the exposure Gamma walls. I literally hate looking at anything else. Like it just looking at so many moving parts makes it even more complicated. So OPEX or post OPEX week is my favorite week. Do you look at flow and does the platform have flow? Yeah, the platform has flow. Let me pull it up. Yeah, everyone knows like post OPEX week is my favorite week. This is our unusual options flow. You can type in whichever one you want and it'll all work. And you have custom filters by clicking the three dots. And then you can pretty much do everything. My favorite filter is volume greater than OI is true. Add filter and out the money is true. And that's pretty much what I look for. And if you want to look at every single ticker, not just a specific ticker, you just type in all. And then you'll pull everything that comes in. And then we also have the multi-leg feature or the dive deeper, I guess, if there is a potential to dive deeper, where it shows all the flow that came in for that specific contract. Someone's selling calls, selling vol. My filters are these. So long volume is greater than OI. Operator is value true. Next one is out the money is true as well. Yeah, the reason why you want it to be out the money is because that's directional, right? If it's non-directional, then then you see a bunch of in the money. Do a thread on my filters. I can do that. I'll type it out. I'll send out a thread this week on the filters that I use. Yeah, I'll just screenshot this and post it in the Discord for now. But yeah, if you guys want to give the platform a try, there's a code for 30% off your first month. And then on top of that, that gives you access to Discord. If you don't know how to connect it, all you do is go to the website. You can click resources, it'll literally take you to it. So like on the main page. Shut the fuck up. You click resources, it'll take you directly to our page and it'll do like a quick start, right? Trader link to Discord Connect tutorial, and it'll give you all of our masterclass stuff, as well as a few classes. And yeah. I know most of you guys are already in here, but since it's a public class, I'm sure there's some people who are just joining to see what the deal is. But choose to fucking subscribe or not, I don't care. But a bunch of people, once again, the people who use it. People who don't care about it and don't ever spend in the time to learn anything in their life will probably never appreciate this. But it's just when you look at it and you learn it, you'll never go back to using anything else, in my opinion. And I think that's the whole point of finding an edge where it's like where it gives you something that other people don't use and don't have access to. And don't put in the time to learn, right? An EMA crossover, sure, go for it. Fucking be my guest. MACD, RSI, fucking go Mac on these nuts. Yeah, the classic Mac on these nuts. But yeah, look, I'm not here to, if you don't like what you see, that's so be it. I'm not gonna sit here and try to convince you of it. I think everything about it should be able to convince itself. Is Gex data? No, it is not. However, the reason for it and why we use SPX and trade other tickers or trade SPX is because SPX's options, SPX options, they take up 16% of the options market cap. So imagine something like Microsoft, it takes up 7%, right? So think about how much money is Microsoft moving the S&P 500, and now think about what big of an impact 16% will do instead of just 7%. So that's why we watch. Like, thank you, Jay. Yeah, I mean, well, like I said, I'm not here to convince you. If you want to give it a try, give it a try. Once again, I suggest taking a look at our YouTube first, watching everything over. We provide education, we provide daily live streams, we provide freaking classes multiple times a week. I do market reviews every single time. What's your success rate? I mean, I don't know. I don't keep a journal anymore, but I haven't lost in a while. The only time I lose is if I buy out the money, honestly. Fuck out the money contracts. Sit there and get bagged by Theta and Vol Crush. No thanks. I just buy in the money. I don't care. I play the delta. %50 is low win rate. That's ass. Anyone who says otherwise has been bagged too many times. But yeah, if there are no more questions, I'm gonna end the class. Once again, we have another one tomorrow, and I'll send out the link. If you join TraderLink, and make sure you connect your Discord to your account so you can get access to all the channels. Pretty much like all these channels where you have the main trade chat. These are all closed. Those are all useless. And also Apex, like if once you sub, you get access to like screenshots of the data. We don't have the historical versions or historical side as of yet. This is our version of historical, where the data updates every 10 seconds on the dashboard versus this one updates every 1 minute, or screenshots and captures and sends it in every minute. So that's pretty much everything for our historical side of things. But yeah, make sure when you sign up, you use that code so you get a discount. No need to sign up at full price when there's a discount code available. And for those wondering where that discount code is, it's just 30 off. It was posted earlier. Just scroll up in the chat. And then when you do it, hold on, let me move this over really quick so I don't show my information. I'll take a screenshot. Access. Screenshot. Just make sure you click this button here and then you can input that coupon. Yeah, thank you for joining once again. It's look, we've been doing this for, I don't know, Joe and I have been teaching for fucking since 2021, like teaching this shit. So, and to say that it's changed people's view on the market is a fucking understatement. And I think people or subs can agree. And look, we don't keep in mind the Discord this isn't a signals program or a signals Discord or by any means. This is strictly just we teach you to fucking fish. We teach you how to utilize the data on your own. We're not here to fucking we hand you all the education on silver platter, but we will not give you trades. Why? Because number one, it's just not necessary. At a certain point, everyone's looking at the exact same thing. And the longer you stay, the more you hear like do these market overviews, the more you'll see how we trade and utilize the data. It's very different than how most people trade. All right. Yeah, the thing, Smitty is 100% right. You yourself just have to put in the work. If we're not going to be the ones putting in the work, right? We can only we put in our work. We fucking created the data. We trade with the data. This is a platform by traders for traders. It's different than any other platform. I don't think any other platform out there can say the exact same thing. And we teach the data. We spend every single day pretty much. I hop on, do a market overview, or Geo's on stream every morning, right? Every single, like, there's so much value than more than just the data that you have access to. So take it for what it is. Take it for face value until you join and, give it a shot yourself. After hours, we're always on too. You just tag us and we'll respond. Like, it's funny, Gio and I always say this shit, our entire life revolves around it. We're online in front of a computer, pretty much when we're not eating. Yeah. Thank you. Community is awesome. We like to have fun. Yeah, a lot of people like the reviews. I like doing them. Number one, it also helps me understand what I did wrong, what I missed. And I'm sure it helps everyone else too, because if I miss something, then the odds are somebody else probably missed the same thing. But yeah, these market reviews, we got fucking what, a whole month ahead of us, or 30 days technically of market reviews on the weekdays. Weekends, I will not hop on. On God, I will not hop on and do a fucking market review on a Saturday or Sunday or a market prep Sunday. If you want a market prep Sunday, you fucking close your eyes, wake up on the next day, and then draw your lines. Draw your Gex lines. That's it. That's all you have to do for prep. I remember like I used to fucking spend hours at night charting and shit. Now I just wake up at fucking 6:20 and then get to my computer. But yeah, anyways, guys, I'm gonna end the live here. Thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate the support, and we'll be back at it again tomorrow. I'll see you guys in the chat in the morning. Everyone have a great evening, great rest of your day, and as always, keep moving forward. Thank you guys.